You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another juicy episode of Unstoppable Actors. Firstly, if you're brand new to Unstoppable Actors, I'm so glad you have found us, and I hope this is going to be the first of many episodes, because my aim is to help you, educate you, inspire you, and allow you to feel more assured and confident as you go along the journey of going from unknown actor to unstoppable actor. And if you're returning, thank you. As always, absolutely love having you here. It's always my pleasure to create these episodes for you. Today is a really good one. We're going to be talking about why scenes go stale quickly and how you can fix it. I know for myself as an actress, this was a massive challenge for me, something I just didn't have the tools to know how to overcome until I learned method acting. And now as a method acting coach, I love passing on this information because it makes all the difference to your scenes, so they continue to stay full of vitality, full of edge, full of that spark, full of feeling, full of life, full of imagination, just all that good stuff that we need in scenes, because it's important that we're enjoying what we're doing as well. And when scenes go stale, actually, we suck the life out of them and they become quite boring. Now, before I dive into this, did you know that the Method Actors Circle is open for enrolment, but not for much longer? If you want to bring something different to your scenes and to your performances, so you're getting casting directors and directors sitting up in their chair, paying attention to you, then you really need to come and be a member of the Method Actors Circle, because the exercises that I teach you and that I coach you through go beyond what I can offer you in the podcast, and they allow you to give the performances of your life. So you're getting rave reviews for your work, so people are sitting up and paying attention and noticing you amongst a sea of actors. And I show you how to do this in the character development classes, in the audition zone classes. I also am building out a casting director directory for you for casting directors around the world, and the monologue collection, so you don't have to spend hours of time searching Google, getting lost in scroll holes. You've got all the information right at the tip of your fingers. The classes are dropping, so you can come to them whenever you've got that space to do that in your diary. This works perfect for those actors who have got a hectic work schedule in their day job. And of course, every single class is recorded, so you never ever miss out. I upload them into the portal, so then when you do get some spare time, you can go into the portal and watch a class and follow along as if you are there live with me. It's incredible. It's getting so much good feedback. You can stay as long as you want in the Method Actor Circle. If you need it for 2 months, stay for 2 months. If you need it for 3 months, stay for 3 months. It's totally on you. There's no life-binding contracts that you signed into. This is the best place to start as an early career actor to get those all-important, vital method acting exercises you need to make your acting career blow up. So the link to come and join is bit.ly/the Method Actor Circle, or you can just click the link underneath the episode. I'd love to coach you. So let's get into why scenes go stale quickly then, and how we can actually fix them. So I've got a number of things I want to share with you first about why they do go stale. So listening carefully, because these are the things that you are going to need to avoid your scene going stale. So the first thing is rehearsing without intention. And what I mean by that is simply just getting the scene up on its feet, running through it from beginning to end,
literally just doing the same things over and over and over. When we rehearse without intention, the scene is just going to run dry so quick. You're going to get bored of it. You're not going to enjoy it anymore, and you're not going to discover anything new. So whenever you're rehearsing, you need to rehearse with intention. And obviously I'm going to come to that after I've listed out why the scenes go stale. So just bear that in mind. They also go stale when you focus solely on generating emotion. Now, of course, emotions are really important in scenes. Absolutely. They are a key component of truthful, authentic scenes, but they're not the be all and the end all. They're not the everything in a scene. They are one cog in a huge machine of what makes a scene genuine, real, authentic, sincere. So don't just focus on the emotion, because when you focus solely on the emotion, you're working in a results-based way. And actually that's nothing to do with acting, because acting is to do with exploration, which again, we're going to come to in a moment after I've listed everything out. So bear that in mind as well. Don't just focus on the emotion above everything else. Another reason scenes go stale is because you focus on making the lines sound real. Again, this is not intentional. It's nothing to do with acting. When you are focusing on making lines sound real, you're actually parroting the lines in a way that you think sounds real to you in your head, but you don't actually know how that's being received by your audience. And if anything, what it's doing is it's making you work in the scene with blinkers on. You are closing off the options and possibilities that you have in scenes. Lines are going to sound real and natural when you're in the moment and you're present genuinely. Again, we're going to come to that in a moment. The other reason scenes go stale is because you're not thinking outside the box, which leads on nicely from my last point. But also, to expand on this, it means you've got an idea in mind, but you've become far too attached to it at the cost of any other ideas or any other inspiration. Now, one of Lee Strasberg's famous quotes is, "There is no room for distraction, only potential inspiration." That means inspiration is all around us. If you have got stuck in one idea, that's a distraction, because it's distracting you from all other possibilities. And then the final reason that scenes go stale quickly is because you are not listening. When you're not listening, you're in your head. When you're in your head, you are falling prey to mental tension. I speak about mental tension all the time. Mental tension is overthinking, basically. When we're getting sucked into this, it's going to lead to mechanical performances, again, with zero intention, but mechanical performances are ones where there is no feeling. The robotic, we're just going through the motions, and we don't want that. So what's really going on underneath all of this then? When we're getting sucked into any of these things that I've listed out, we are not being intentional in the scene, and being intentional is the key here. You could do a scene 50,000 times and it still be fresh every single time. But what happens is we get acclimatized to the scene, which means we get bored. When we're bored, we're not in our imagination. When we're not in our imagination, we are no longer curious. And being curious is the key here as well, because when we're curious, that works hand in hand with being intentional. Now, if we think about children, it's why they can play the same game 1,000,001 times and never get bored of it. So they can play things like Cops and Robbers, Mums and Dads, or whatever, dinosaurs, whatever their game is. They never get bored because they stay curious. When you're curious, your imagination is active. When your imagination is active, there's far less room for mental tension. And mental tension is the thing that paves the way for those things that I've just listed out, like just running through the scene backwards and forwards with no intention, just focusing solely on generating emotion, trying to make this line sound real, not thinking outside the box, not listening. When we're getting sucked into these things, mental tension is present. I can guarantee you that 100% of the time. So to combat it, we need to stay curious. Curiosity hits the imagination part on the method acting triangle. And if you're new here, I'll explain to you that the method acting triangle is the thing you need to be creating unique, original performances that no other actor can copy. And there are 3 points on it: relaxation at the top, concentration on the side, and imagination being the final part. Now, when we are curious, we are hitting that final point on the triangle because we're tapping into our imagination. It's vital for the development of your craft and your career that you work intentionally with that method acting triangle with relaxation, concentration, and imagination, and specifically tapping into that part of you that is curious to get that imagination glowing up, to feed your imagination. Because with curiosity, you can go absolutely anywhere. The scene stays fresh. It never goes stale. There's only one caveat to this, and this is that you have got to stay in line with the given circumstances. But the given circumstances are not restrictive. They are simply your guiding post throughout the scene, because they are the facts that have been written in, that are verifiably true, that we could pull out and we can't change because the given circumstances guide the story. Now, here's an example of being curious in a scene. You can start with the question, why? Sanford Meisner said why should be the number one word in the vocabulary of all actors, and I 1000% agree with him. And I agree that when we ask why, that feeds in nicely to what Lee Strasberg said about there being no room for distraction, only potential inspiration. When you start to ask why, or what if, that's another good question, this opens the box for imagination to flourish. This is going to lead to that vitality, that spark in the scene, that life that we need. So an example of this in a scene where a character is absolutely raging for whatever reason would be, instead of just playing the rage outright, what if I try to suppress it? Because this makes for something more interesting and unpredictable. And that actually paves the way for behaviour. Remember I said emotions and lines are a small part in a huge machine of what makes a scene truthful and authentic and sincere. Well, what sits right at the top of all of this is behaviour. Because acting is a visual art. Your characters are always doing something. So now you've said, what if, instead of trying to play the rage outright, I suppress it? You're going to make for interesting behaviour because you've got to do something different. That's going to move you away from thinking about actually trying to force the emotion out, which nothing ever good happens when we do that. It's a bit like trying to force sweets down a child's throat. You know, as much as children love sweets, if you're forcing them on them, they're not going to want them. They're going to resist them. And when you try and force an emotion out, the emotion is going to resist coming out. So by saying, what if I try and suppress the rage instead, actually it teases that emotion out, but it makes way for behaviour, which is more interesting because acting is a visual art, as I've already said. You can also go in with, why? Why is the character at this level of rage? Not from a judgmental perspective, from a place of curiosity. And again, you're going to start to find things in the scene that you wouldn't ordinarily find if you just outright play the rage. This makes for interesting acting. This makes for the kind of acting that makes you make a different choice to what all other actors are making, because most actors are making the same safe, predictable choices 98% of the time. But you don't want to be in that 98% because that gets you overlooked. You want to be in that 2%. And that 2% is those actors who are doing something different. So if you follow this advice, you'll get yourself into that 2% quicker. Now, if you do want to keep bringing something different to scenes and you want to experience method acting exercises beyond what I've taught you in this episode that can also help you get into that curiosity, then definitely come and join the Method Actors Circle, because it is absolutely vital for the development of your craft and your career. We have a saying at Standby, which is the craft first for long-term success. And that's what the Method Actors Circle is designed to do. It's designed to get you on your way to becoming a master of your craft so you have a long, sustainable acting career. I show you these method acting exercises inside the character development classes, inside the audition zone classes. These are regular fortnightly classes that are held online, so you can be from anywhere in the world to come and join, and every single class is recorded. So if your work schedule gets too hectic, you can't get a shift off, it's okay, it's recorded. You can go and dive into it when you've got that spare time. If your family life gets too hectic, it's okay, you can go and dive into it in your spare time because it's been recorded. You have got a library of all of the method acting classes that have already taken place. and you've got access to the live classes. And as I said earlier, we're building out the casting director directory and the monologue collection. You stay in the Method Actor Circle for as long as you need the training. It's an incredible place to be. It's very supportive, it's very inspiring, it's very uplifting, and it is going to get you on track with your performances and your career. So the link to join is bit.ly/the Method Actor Circle, or click the link underneath the episode. But be quick, because we are closing the doors for enrollment very, very, very soon. If you go on the page and you see the countdown timer has got all zeros on it, that's it, you've missed out. So make sure you get in before it hits 0. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you are feeling uplifted and inspired and ready to rock your next scene. And I want to coach you inside the Method Actor Circle, so I hope to see you in there as well. I'll see you again soon.
I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.